you might have seen some like really big guys almost naked and then fighting in a small ring. When many people think of cherry blossom, it also symbol of start, like a new start.
Hello and welcome to 20 Minutes Abroad, the podcast where we talk about different cultures from different countries. My guest today is Keita from Japan. The first question I have for you is, what is the biggest difference you noticed between your culture and the Austrian culture?
I think there are a lot of differences, right? I think, and I haven't been in Austria for too long yet, so I'm not sure if I can properly describe what Austria is. But well, so speaking from like a social culture, so for example in Japan, it's so even at the workplace, it's very common to have or share social time beyond working hours. So like if you after work, they often go out for drinks or eatings and so on, and then sometimes it's not really voluntarily, like you kind of have to join your coworkers, but here I think it can happen sometimes, like on a special occasion, right, like someone's birthday or Christmas party, but I think it's much rarer here. And then people, after work, it's their time, and then your time, and then you just go home. And so from social perspective, that's a different things, I think. Yeah.
Thank you for your answer. Yeah. So the next question, you're gonna pick yourself.
Okay, great.
So just pick one ticket.
So no one picks from the edge, right?
What do you call it? So then there's a number on it.
Yeah.
Which number is it?
20.
20, thank you. So the question is, what is a lesser known cultural practice or ritual from your culture or religion?
I'm not sure if I can say this is culture, but it's kind of related to the first question. But I think compared to Austria or European culture, in Japan it's still a patriarchic country, and then I think it's changing a little bit, but very slowly. And in some places it's very old-fashioned. So one example you may not know is Japan's national sports. Do you know? It's sumo. It's like a martial arts, or it's like wrestling. So you might have seen some like really big guys almost naked and then fighting in a small ring. So in this ring or this place is considered very sacred, and so sumo has a long history. So I don't know, it's like 1,000 years of history, but it's never been that female are allowed on this platform. Yeah, and so that's probably lesser known things. And there have been several cases that have attracted some attention. I think one time was the winner of this sumo wrestler will receive some trophy at the end of the tournament, and then this trophy will be handed over by a governor, also wherever the tournament takes place. And then one time I think the governor of Tokyo was a female, and then she was not allowed to hand out this trophy. Instead, like a vice governor went on her in her place, right? And then also there was another incident that one time there was some medical emergency of some sort during the sports, and then all the medical experts tried to help, and then they rushed towards this ring, but there are a couple of nurses there, and then they went, and then but they were told to move away. So anyway,
that's really interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thank you for your answer. it's really nice that you answered the first question, like about the working life.
Yeah.
Because actually our first topic area is about the everyday and work life.
Okay.
So, because you said it's very usual there to go out with your colleagues.
Yeah.
But here you kind of have the picture that the workplace is really strict and associated with a lot of commitment and dedication. Do you have any working experience in Japan too, or?
So well, not really. I hadn't had real job in Japan, so I did my bachelor study in Japan, but afterwards I left. But I had some like part-time jobs. So when I was in high school, my first part-time job was at the moving company, and then I was physical labor essentially, but I was moving boxes and furniture and so on. And then also while I was in university, I had some part-time job at like bar or at some newspaper company. So I never had. Well, I didn't have a full-time job, but I know some. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went from working in the US to working in Austria, right?
Yes, and I also worked in Germany for a little bit. Yes.
And how was it for you to get accustomed from the working ways in the US to Germany or Austria?
Yeah. So it's I feel it's also different. So well, compared to Japan, it's also different, but also compared to US, it's different. Between Germany and Austria, I'm not sure if there's such a big difference. But between here and the United States, well, first of all, your job is not very, very secure. It's not really secure, so you don't really have any safety, right? So even at the work environment, I feel it's more competitive. So you have colleagues, and then you make some friends, but it's also very competitive. So it can often happen that low performing employees are let go in US. So you don't want to be in like bottom 10 or 20%, and then which means that you have to be better than your colleagues all the time, right? So there's some certain competence always, but I never felt that in here. Such feelings. So colleagues are just colleagues, and then I don't feel like they are your competitor or anything.
I think that's probably a nicer way to work.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you started working here in Austria, was there something that was a really big surprise for you?
Well, so not really work, but the one thing kind of surprised me was first I thought Austrian people are very polite. So Japanese people are probably known as polite as well, but I also felt people here are very polite. Well, at least it seems that way.
That's good.
and also this is a little bit different from Japan, but I also felt a little funny that Austrian people put a lot of emphasis on title. So like when I go to a doctor, and then there's a section that I have to fill title, and then if I just put like Mr. here, and then they will ask, oh, what's your title? And then it's just Mr. is fine, and but
yeah, that's true. The titles are really important here. So before we start into the second topic area, we're gonna play a little game together. And the game we're gonna play is a guessing game. So we're gonna get 3 questions, we don't know the answers to it, and whose answers are nearest to the actual answer wins. So it's 2 out of 3. If you have 2 answers correct, you win something. And we have 2 boards here. We're gonna write the answer on the boards. You can now take your board. How many temples and shrines exist in Kyoto, the most culturally rich city in Asia?
In one city. Would you give me a multiple choices or? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know either. So.
Uh-huh.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Around 2,000. Okay, nice.
Okay, I was overconfident.
I had no idea. How many legally recognized religions exist in Austria? In Austria? Okay, 1, 2, 3. 14.
Okay.
Okay. That's a lot.
Oh wow. I cannot even name 14.
No, I just thought the same thing. Japan is known for its anime. When was the first Japanese animated film produced? I'm not sure. Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3. Oh,
Oh.
that's really close. 1907. What?
What?
Oh, that's really early. Apparently, I'm not too bad at
Yeah.
Put that back here. Let's start into our second topic area. So just now we had a question about anime and animated films, and I think the anime and manga is a big part of the Japanese culture, and people think about it when they hear Japan. So what do you think is the fascination with the comics and the comics and the shows?
Yeah. So yeah, that's true. So it's a big entertainment, and I think one thing probably well, I don't know, it may or may not be surprising, is the comic or manga are not only for kids anymore, and so there are many kinds of mangas, and there are mangas for everyone, every gender or every generation, and some are very serious and some are very just funny. So I think it's and I also think it's the quality is good. Unfortunately, I don't get to read them very much, or the new ones, but yeah, and still a lot of good ones are coming for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think in the last few years it's like a trend that is also coming to the Western area of the world. So also here in Austria, it's getting more and more people are getting into anime. But in Japan, it's like a big part of everyday life, I guess. So.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, it's not surprising that you see some adult, not only just the kids, but like adults reading mangas on trains. I think it's everyday culture in people's life.
I mean, it's also a nice thing.
Yeah.
So also theater is a big deal in Japan. For example, kabuki is one of the traditional genres in theater.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to one of these performances, or what do you think makes them really special?
Okay, so well, unfortunately, I have not been to one of them. So that's what I feel. a little bit differently in Austria is such a I don't know, like a traditional culture or theater are still within reach in ordinary people in Austria. I feel like, you know, opera or orchestra and so on, like, you know, just not only some like educated or wealthy people will go, but it's almost everyone enjoys and everyone goes. But in Japan, such like a traditional like kabuki or like a no, those things are not. I think they're only for certain people, like teenagers or some young people. They are not interested and they don't go and yeah. So I feel I feel traditional culture is a little bit different in Austria and in Japan. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Did you go to an Austrian theater since you're here?
Unfortunately not. We very much like to, but we have a small child and then we don't have a babysitter who can look after him in the evening. Well, when we lived in when we didn't have a child, well, we are not in here. We're in the United States, but yeah, that time we went to concert or sometimes orchestra or ballet and so on. But unfortunately, not in here.
Okay, I understand. Spring is starting soon, and spring is also a very important time of year for Japan because I think a lot of people know that cherry blossom season is a big deal in Japan. How come that the cherry trees are such a big attraction in Japan?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, really. I'm not sure if I can explain it very clearly, but the first of all, the fiscal year in Japan starts in April. So schools and the budget and everything starts in April. So April is the beginning of fiscal year. Well, of course, January starts New Year, but April, everyone starts new. So when many people think of cherry blossom, it also symbol of start, like a new start, like when you first start your school or high school or university, like you are very anxious but you're at the same time you're very excited and so on. And I don't know, those feelings I feel are always associated with cherry blossom. And then also another attraction is it has a very short life. So the flowers bloom only for 1 week or so, and then when we have a bad weather, windy day or rainy day, then they'll be all gone. So you have a very short time window to enjoy it. So that's probably another attraction. But I have to say, well, I mentioned April, but because of the climate change these days, cherry blossom actually do end before April. These days they started blooming a little bit earlier. But at least so newer generation may have a different attachment to cherry blossom, but at least my generation or older generation, cherry blossom are always associated with beginning.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
Since you're here, you can take our sticker, it's a Japan sticker, and put it on our suitcase.
Okay, yeah. This one? Okay.
Okay, so and lastly, you also get a small present from us for being here. These are two traditional Austrian sweets. I don't know if you tried it yet.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's really good. So these are for you.
Dankeschön.
Gerne.
Mana, Mozartkugel.
Thank you for being here today, and also thank you to our listeners. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment if you have something to say to the topic. We see each other in the next video.